a lot of clothes with tie-dye. That was like a cool thing. That was back in the 60s. That's showing our age here, but there's your current drive right there. 9 plays, 41 yards, 4 minutes and 35 seconds. Good drive right now for Roncalli.
4th and 4. The Rebels going for it at the 31-yard line. Reverse. Looking to pass. Now he keeps it. Dropped at the 26-yard line. Maybe the 27. It might necessitate a mark here. They might bring in the chains. It's going to be very close. They're going to call it a first down.
Great job by Nick Murray, number 42, is making the tackle, but it's just too late. He's got the option now. He can either take it down. He's good coverage downfield. See, Nick Murray comes in and makes the tackle just a little bit late because he gets the first down. But that was pretty interesting. 4th down play, a little razzle-dazzle early. Yeah, and giving that guy the option of passing or running it, he just opts for the run.
At the 26-yard line, first down and 10. Now in the field, running across the 20, into the red zone. Marcus Nally, quite a story. Nally stopped in the play by Nick Flee, a 6'1" senior defensive lineman.
His outfit kind of looks like those days when you used to play, Craig, you know, with the paper jerseys, you know, the tearaway jerseys and stuff like that. Kind of stuck up there, but one of the reasons why his jersey is having trouble staying down is because he's got one of those rib pads.
Dropping in a couple. Nally gets the call again.
And when you run the ball 50 times like he has in one game, you need all the protection you can get with that rib cage pad. As you can see, he's got kind of, I don't know what that red thing is going on, but I mean, he's a fully equipped guy. He's got the elbow pad. See the elbow things right there, Craig? That's for the AstroTurf.
Yep.
The rib cage is for obviously the back of the ribs. And then he's also got the plays on his wrist. So he's a complete deal.
He's the whole package.
He's got the package. He's a full package.
4 first downs so far in this drive. Nally brought down. Nice individual effort by Tyler Trappy, who has just been a sensational defensive player for head coach Schwartzbach.
Yeah, Trappy does a great job. Take a look at this, number 82 to the top of your screen. Now watch, he takes on the blocker. Look, he keeps himself free. He just pushes him aside, waits for the running back to make a mistake, and that's what he does. Makes a mistake and runs right into him. Just good job of keeping your shoulders square, your head up, in a good football position and making the play.
2nd down and 12 at the 17-yard line. High backfield behind Johnson. Fakes into the line. Passes toward the end zone, and it is caught. Touchdown. Johnson threads the needle. What a pass to Jake McCoy. Roncalli on the board. What a play.
And I like the poise of Johnson of hanging in there. Now watch this. He's going to watch this route. You got 2 defensive backs on him, and then look, he waits, and he waits, and he finally feels like when he clears, and even at that, they were still there. But McCoy does a great job at catching the ball and pulling it down and going in for the score.
Kevin Trulock on to attempt the point after. And he just does get it inside the goalpost. So a 7-0 lead for Roncalli. 5:14 left to go in the first quarter. And we'll keep it right here. And quite an exciting way to start today's 4A state championship game. American Wholesale Furniture wants to wish the Rebels good luck in the state championship game. American Wholesale Furniture and Roncalli High School, 2 great traditions. Go Rebels. Also want to remind you that Arturo's Restaurant is located at 2727 East 86th Street. Arturo's Restaurant. It's where Howard Kelman hangs out. It's his favorite Italian restaurant in Indianapolis.
Who are those guys? Look like brothers.
The original Roncalli Rebels, maybe, huh?
Wow.
Almost like the Casey twins.
Yeah, I wasn't going to go there, but you did. That's better for you then.
Dwenger, we talk so much about their great defensive line. We talk a lot about their deep backs, their great offense. But Dan Fox, who's trotting off right now, has been such a key player, not only offensively for head coach Schwarzkopf, but on special teams, and their special teams unit does not have a weakness. They're that good. At the 33, first down and 10.
There's your scoring drive. 14 plays, 72 yards. I'm telling you, that's a lot of real estate there. And look at the time, 6 minutes and 46 seconds. And they cap it with a 17-yard touchdown pass from Johnson to McCoy.
Dan Kimes is the quarterback. He showed us a lot of poise as a sophomore last week. Jumped at the 25-yard line. And, you know, in the scheme of things, Barry, you'll probably agree with us. That might not have been a bad play by Kimes instead of attempting to pass.
Yeah, and we've seen that before where the quarterback's trying to make something happen. And let me tell you this. Kyle Stevenson is down the field. He's the defensive back, and he's got great coverage. And that's exactly where he wanted to go with the ball. And when you have a coverage sack like that, you know, good coverage down the field, that's basically what we call a coverage sack, is when the sack, you know, the defensive players finally get to the quarterback.
Second down and 18. Kimes running the option. He keeps it. Dan Kimes, a 6'3" sophomore. We've seen, even today, some tall quarterbacks, and Kimes is one of them. Kimes brought down on the play by Nate Ashworth.
You're right, and what a difference at 6'3". Again, he finds those lanes a little bit easier than a shorter quarterback, and you know, he's a very athletic quarterback too, so he can make a lot of things not only happen in the air but also on the ground.
Third down and 11. Kimes fakes, looking to go deep, far sideline, and out of bounds. Kimes airing it out. The pass intended for Tellerico. Matt Tellerico, a 5'9" senior.
And I talked about him earlier, but number 21, Kyle Stevenson, the defensive back. He's a senior, 5'11", 174. Does a great job covering that back out of the backfield. He did it earlier where he had a wide receiver, good position. And again, he does a great job at seeing the out and up route. Good coverage, and nowhere to throw the ball.
Jeff Lauer in the punt for Fort Wayne Dwenger. Some contact back there, no flag. And a nice return. Justin Agreska on the return for Roncalli. Hey, the people at McDonald Investments work hard to help you achieve financial independence. Member SPIC and NYSC. McDonald Investments. 8 yards on the return. Now first down and 10 from the 46-yard line. No score. I'm sorry. Roncalli on top by a score of 7-0. 3:34 left to go here in the first quarter. Nally straight ahead for a couple.
You know, just a great job by Roncalli's defense at really shutting down the Saints offense and then making them punt the ball and then having a pretty decent return. Look at the field position. I mean, this is critical in any football game, but you know, even more so in a state playoff game. You got to get yourself in good position starting the offensive series.
Second down and 8. Case Gorman already working hard defensively in on a lot of plays, including the last tackle. Johnson on the pitch, and Nally makes it to the 50-yard line, and that's it. Hubler Nissan has a great sales force. Hubler Nissan has a knowledgeable service department as well. That's Hubler Nissan on State Road 31. Look for their new Acura store soon.
Talk about linebackers. Nick Murray, number 42, 5'10", 195-pound senior. Did a great job on that play, recognizing the counter. Not only did he take on the lead block, but then he saw the back cut back inside, and he made the move inside with him and make the tackle, and only for a 1-yard gain. Good job.
Johnson on third down and 5. He was wide out. And not a lot of positive yardage. Johnson connecting with Nick Marshall.
And I'm not quite sure about that play because you got 2 wide receivers out there, okay? You got the slot man and the wide receiver. And you got also, that attracts 2 defensive backs. So when they throw the ball to one of the wide receivers, that means there's only 1 blocker for 2 defensive players. And I know you're trying to get a couple yards, but Here you got like 3rd down and 4, 3rd down and 5. I would think you want to get the ball down a little bit further downfield and trying to get that first down.
4th and a couple. The punting crew is in. Nick Johnson, the quarterback, on a fake. And they're going to get their yardage, it looks like. Johnson, the quarterback, on the fake and straight ahead with Nick Marshall. And it appears as though he's got the yardage or very, very close to it anyway.
You know, whenever I see special teams doing fakes and things like that, I think of good coaching, because that's what it is. The coaches are watching the film, they're looking at tendencies, and one place where a lot of times you might see a little slack is on the special teams, whether the way they line up, and if they were, you know, they always go into the game with maybe 1 or 2 fakes and say, hey, look, if it's there, let's run it. And obviously it was there, and it got them the first down for Roncalli.
Rebels now working from the 43-yard line. The pitch. Nally. He was tripped up along the 45-yard line. Nice play there by Berghoff, but then moved forward for a few more yards.
You know, Nally over 2,200 yards this year, and we talked about him in the open, but what an incredible running back. I mean, he tests every area of the defense. I mean, he ran inside. The play was actually designed to run inside guard tackle, and all of a sudden he just takes it back outside the end, and that wasn't good enough, and then all of a sudden he takes it out on the perimeter. I mean, he just tests every aspect and fundamental of every defense.
Seconds remaining in the first quarter. Marcus Nally again trying to cut it in and doesn't get a whole lot there. You know, this gentleman, Marcus Nally, I don't know if you knew this or not, but lost his father to cancer back in September, right in the middle of that 4-game losing streak they had to begin the season. There you see Marcus Nally. Later, he went on to play Elkhart Central, where he rushed for 332 yards in the game. 6 touchdowns. Both were school records. His dad held the school record back in the 70s. Incredible story.
What a great story.
That's the end of the first quarter. Roncalli on top by a score of 7-0. We'll bring it back here to the RCA Dome in just a moment. You're watching LaCie Sports and the IHSAA Television Network.